What up, everybody? Welcome to another Patreon episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Dansby here with the old man Andreas Hell. There's so much damn wrestling that we had to catch up on that we had to throw this on Patreon. So we're gonna do an AEW recap and talk about some of the stuff going down over there. We still haven't even talked AEW Forbidden Door that went down, and then now they're building into the summer, new feuds, new everything. So we're just going to catch up on AEW real quick here on Patreon. Check out our WWE NXT episode, which is out everywhere else. And then we still got to talk Cam Mace versus Shakur beef, all that stuff. That'll be mixed into our boxing show that also comes out this week. But thank you guys for being patient. We appreciate you all as always. But Dre, let's get into AEW, where I'm a little tired of the narrative. AEW is what AEW is. Like, it's okay. People watching the ratings every week, which are down. So, like, that's only for advertisers. Who cares? The arena and people not showing up, that's a little different. Companies go through upswings and downswings. They are in year 5. There's a little bit of a malaise. They'll swing right back up. Maybe they need to change the venues, whatever it may be. They'll be fine. But the narrative of people nitpicking and watching every and fans of it and people who aren't fans of it, every little thing is a win. Every little thing is a loss. Like, oh my God, this means they're not going to be here. Like, the narrative around AEW is tiring. And I think as where tribalism can't hurt WWE because it's too much of a machine and casuals really drive stuff, casuals and families. AEW is really feeling the effects of a tribalism that both them and WWE have cultivated. WWE is not going to get hurt by that. AEW is kind of feeling that. And I think that's why these numbers have dropped, because the culture is so now focused on tribalism that it's hard to enjoy shit sometimes. It's just like, yo, like, I've just been watching it and not talking about it at all, just watching it in the background because the discourse is exhausting.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't know why people are looking at live ratings and shit that they don't really understand. Because you know who's happy? TNT.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe they got to re up, but I'm sure they will.
no. They're happy because they are like Dynamite is in Collision for like Warner, still like one of their highest rated weekly shows.
Yeah.
So when people go, oh, the numbers are down with the live week, like shut the fuck up. Be like, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Now, AEW is not predicated on house shows. It's not. They're fucking New Japan, right? Like yeah, we watch Dynamite, but on TV, but they don't do a great job promoting like their live shows. They got to do better with that. But when it comes to the pay-per-views, they don't fucking miss.
At
They
all.
don't. They don't miss, and the ratings are high enough to where advertisers are buying in.
Huh?
Like media rights are at an all-time high, right? Like everybody's like buying. Like, dude, the NBA just fucking did some absurd deal with the Athletic. Like,
11, 11 years, 76 billion.
like it's a it's a race for rights. When the UFC decides to re-up, if they don't stay with ESPN, like you imagine how much Netflix would pay for the UFC if they wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I'm sure
So
that.
there's no such thing right now that AEW is like not a profitable company for a network. Might not be profitable for AEW. There's a big difference here, which people don't
Mhm.
understand. Like Tony Khan's got limitless pockets. They pay people a lot of money, but their rights deal keeps them afloat.
Yeah,
And as long as advertisers are happy, that's all that matters. I can't get like I'm more busy lately because of fucking ESPN, so I don't spend as much time on social media. But I have no desire to engage with anybody about AEW's this or WWE's that. I don't fucking care. Like I like what I like. I enjoy what I like, and we spend this time in this podcast talking about it, and I'll write about the stuff that I like. But if you want to just argue about ratings, like who are you? Because you ain't selling media rights. You ain't buying tickets to these shows. The people that say aha AEW don't watch it anyway. So what the fuck? Who cares? This is
yeah.
not
Who are
like
you
the
hurting?
like I hate the Cowboys, right? I'm a 49ers fan. That's what I do. I still watch the games. And I'll never go, look, the Cowboys have no attendance. I don't fucking, that doesn't help anybody, right? More people that go watch the Cowboys, the reason why they're always talked about on ESPN. Everybody wants to see the Cowboys play, win or lose, America's team. That's what they are. I don't wish them a downfall. I just wish we beat their ass.
Yep.
That's it. And that's fair because we're playing the same fucking game. It's wrestling, man. I just wanted people to eat and be happy. I'm so sick of people in my timeline. You watch that Spot Monkey Fest? Shut the fuck up. Like, yes, I do.
Because when NXT does the same spots, it's the greatest shit since sliced bread.
Yeah, it's just like,
and I love flippy shit of all kinds.
Like, y'all just like, if something's whack, I'm gonna call it whack. If you've listened to this podcast followed us for almost 10 years, you've heard me shit all over WWE. And right now, I think it's doing their best work they've ever done. And there's no tribalism in that. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I've shitted on AEW. I've gave props to AEW. It's like watching a fucking TV show. I love Martin, but the last season of Martin sucked.
Unbearable.
Like, we can't lie about it. There's some episodes of Seinfeld that are better than others. But I'm not going to complain about the bad episodes. Like, what is wrong with you people?
First season of Seinfeld is kind of hard to watch.
First season of Seinfeld, you don't have to watch.
No, you can skip it. Just start season 2. I've heard the same of Always Sunny.
Yeah, I'm on like season 5, and I know I'm like 7 seasons behind, but I'm like on season 5, and I'm like, we didn't really need season 1, but it sets the table. Like, but if I were to go online and be like, man, fuck season 1 of Always Sunny, I don't know why y'all watch that shit, because season 1, what do I sound like? Who cares? I don't argue about TV shows like this. Why y'all arguing about fucking pro wrestling like this?
Yeah, it makes no sense because people, they don't want pro wrestling to be what it is, which is a television product. Like, it's on weekly television. It's just a TV show. Like New Japan and everything, it's just a traveling circus. Like, people just take it so seriously. Like, and I get it. You can kind of bet on it now. So it's like a little more legitimate. It's like whatever. And at its core, it's just entertainment. Like, it's like watching a movie in the movie theaters. Like, oh my God, that's fake. Like, no. Or, hey, this is like going to watch a Fast and Furious movie and complaining that it's not like the best dialogue on earth.
Oh, here's a better one for you. It's when people pick sides in Marvel and DC. Why are you picking sides? Like, because here's my thing. DC is in a rut.
Yeah.
Just keep it a buck.
Just is what it is.
But the day that DC makes a good movie, I'm going to give it its props. That's all.
Yeah. Do they think James Gunn isn't going to turn this shit around?
Like, when I see people like talk about, I don't fuck with Marvel, or I'm team DC. I don't give a fuck. I'm team comic book. If you make a good comic book movie, I'm going to go watch it. And Marvel, Phase 4 of Marvel hasn't been great. The TV shows and the movies. But when it is, I'm going to keep watching, and I'm going to tell you when it's good, and I'm going to tell you when it's bad. But I'm going to watch them both. I hate when people pick sides. It's a fucking comic book franchise. DC, Marvel, who fucking cares? Why are you picking a side? Why can't you just like, look, why can't you like the Blue Beetle and Guardians of the Galaxy? What the fuck? Like, who cares? You don't have to like the entire franchise. There are Marvel movies that are not good. The Eternals. No. There are Marvel movies that aren't great. There are DC movies that have been really bad.
I will never watch Thor and Love and Thunder again.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
Damn shame what they did to Christian Bale.
Yo. Yeah. But Thor Love and, oh man, that Thor movie is bad. And the first Thor movie is bad. Like,
the second one's okay.
The second, they're not good.
No, Ragnarok is like
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's an anomaly at this point.
Yes, because it was straight comedy, right? Yes. Like, that's what Thor became, was a comedian.
Yeah.
But if I say I hate all Marvel movies just because they're Marvel, that is dumb. That is dumb. Because guess what? When fucking Deadpool and Wolverine come out, I'm going to see that shit. I don't give a fuck about if it's Marvel, DC, these nuts. I don't care.
By the way, we got to make, me and Big Mac want to see it. And he wants to go to the joint by your crib.
Oh, the Suncoast? Because it's a great fucking theater.
He loves that theater. So I'll loop you in. We'll get tickets.
I'm going to try. If I can break away, I'm going to see that shit. But yeah.
It's like stupid late at night. And I think the kids are sleeping now. So just like, y'all be back in 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, but all that to say, like, Marvel, DC, Team PlayStation, Team Xbox, they're fucking video games, guys. I don't give a fuck. I have them both, right? And I have a Switch. I don't give a fuck. Who has the best game to play right now? Right now, I'm playing Octopath Traveler 2 on my Switch. And my
You
Xbox
do
is
lean heavy to the Switch, by the way.
well when I'm traveling. But here's my point. When I'm playing a game on the Switch, it's my favorite system at that particular time. When I'm playing Like a Dragon on PS5, it's my favorite game right now. I was playing the shit out of my Xbox 2 months ago. Not playing it as much right now. Does it mean the Xbox sucks? No, it means the better games right now are on my PS5. But then people get weird. Oh, they made a game on PS5 and they made it on Xbox. Well, the Xbox one is better. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? The
Yep.
video games, Brad. Pro wrestling is the same way. You people fucking get on and complain and get in my timeline and in my mentions. I don't even respond to you fucks anymore because y'all are dumb. Just enjoy pro wrestling. Jesus.
Yeah, it bothers me to my core. But once we get past that, the matches are pretty damn good. And AEW's figuring out a little more the storyline stuff and making stuff cohesive. So that was my only gripe. Make stuff cohesive. Still a little up in the air because this pay-per-view, as good as it can be, and this year wasn't their best pay-per-view. We're just keeping it a buck. Forbidden Door wasn't. I think, and I've said this before on the show, it's just because of timing.
Yeah.
Move it to January, right when New Japan is its hottest because they're coming off of Wrestle Kingdom, and put it in there. And it's kind of where AEW has their lull, and they're gearing up for Double or Nothing and the huge summer, and you have tons of these shows that take you kind of through October. Put it there so people look forward to it every year. And it really doesn't crush your storylines. You ain't got shit else going on during that time anyway.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like Forbidden Door was a solid pay per view, and we'll talk about it top to bottom. But before I even talk about the pay per view itself, which MJF was on, thank God they turned my man back heel.
Yeah, he needs this.
Like,
Even though there's still something missing. Like he's come back and tried to character change a little bit, like a little Jericho-ish. And I'll let it play out. But it's not hitting like the old MJF hit, kind of. He's a little
give it,
too cool right now. I got to give it time, and I
yeah,
will.
give it time because
But
what
I
he's
want him to be the elite asshole more
they
so.
they they found a way to nerf Daniel Garcia and make him feel like a big deal to nerf, and it's good because everybody loves Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
And turning MJF heel and then having set up his sights on Will Ospreay, smart
Yeah.
because that's going to be a great feud, and the promos between them two are going to be great. And MJF is going to slowly work back into the worst heel in the business. It was interesting how quickly people turned on MJF because they loved him to death, and then he nerfed Daniel Garcia, and then people were like, "Fuck you." Then he cut his promo on Saturday on Collision, and I was like, "This is really good." Like this guy is the best heel in the business when he wants to be.
He's very easy to hate. That's
He
it's
just
a
looks
great
like a guy
quality.
you
Yeah,
hate his guts.
yeah, like it's ridiculous. So then we have, I mean, on the pre-show, Malachi Black and Brody King win. I wish they do a little more with their tag team. It looks like they are, but still, Malachi Black not having any singles run is a little weird. Uh, Willow Nightingale gets one against Chris Statlander in a tag team match, but she's just gonna keep getting her ass whooped in singles. Mariah May beat Saraya on the pre-show in the Owen Hart Cup tournament match, which is okay. I don't know what Saraya is doing at this point. And then the Lucha Bros defeated Lij in a cool crossover match.
Yeah, I mean, I said it on the last show, the WWE show. Whoever figures out the tag team division first wins. They're right there. They're all right there. House of Black is right there. Lucha Bros right there. All these teams can challenge the Young Bucks. They just, for whatever reason, don't feel like doing tag teams in AEW or WWE, but they'll figure it out. Let's get to the main card.
Main card, it opens up MJF um, against Hechicito.
My man lost his mask.
He did. He did. No, but I mean, he looks like $1,000,000 though. The motherfucker looks like a rhino.
Yeah.
It was a fun, different match for MJF. I like it. MJF in ring has been one of my favorite surprises over the past year and a half.
It's been really good.
He's just such a better wrestler.
Yeah.
Character and everything aside, I just like watching him wrestle. So I thought this was a cool, like, yo, let me just put him on here.
Yep. Give him some work.
And then the Elite versus the Acclaimed. And Tanahashi, why? It wasn't a crossover enough to make it work.
This is so weird because we're getting ready to get to blood and guts in a match that the Elite are clearly not going to lose again, right? Although I still think the Elite are really fun to watch because I can't get enough of Okada saying bitches. It's like my favorite thing on television right now. Like, oh, when he fucking fucked with the Acclaim's music, and I'm so sorry, bitch. It's so good,
It's
right?
so
It's
great.
Okada. People forgot how good this guy is as a heel, but now when he just says one word in English, or like well, he says other words too, but the bitch just sounds so great. The problem is the Elite now have the tag team titles. What the fuck titles Okada got? There's so many of them. Is
International.
it the international? And then scapegoat
That's what it's called.
Jack Perry, who gets TNT title on the show. They have all the gold, but you're putting them in feuds that I don't care about. I don't care about the Blood and Guts feud. I didn't care about this tag match. The Acclaimed are not on the level of the Young Bucks. They're just not. So this match happens. You bring in old man Tanahashi, he's aging like Steve Miocic right now, right? Like
Yes.
it's Steve Miocic and John Jones, right? Like 6 years ago, really, these are great matches if you did them. Now you expect John Jones to kill Stipe. Now, when Okada's in there with Tanahashi, it ain't those Wrestle Kingdom matches anymore. Tana's an executive; he ain't a wrestler anymore. This match, I did not care for this.
It's time for him to let it go. Him and Jericho. And Jericho he did an interview today where he's like, I'm still doing some of the best work of my career. On any given night, I can have the best match on a card. It's like,
No,
this man is so unaware.
he can't have.
No,
Not on any
like,
given night. They have to
no,
give you
sir.
the night.
A
That's the only
fucking
way.
learning tree. Only on the Jericho cruise shall he have any type of best.
That's what I'm saying. It's not any given night. It's when somebody gives you the night and you're the night alone because you're the only match on the card. Like Jericho, stop.
Ridiculous. Danielson versus Shingo. This is where you put them.
I like this fucking match.
And they gave him time.
Yeah, man, they gave him time. Like Shingo was working stiff. He was just fucking throwing Daniel all around the ring. Shingo's one of my favorite wrestlers in the world to watch. Shingo and Ishii, the two guys left in New Japan that I just love to watch. And Danielson got the win, of course, in the Owen Hart Classic. I get it. But I thought these guys, the Brian Danielson retirement tour is in like full swing. And this motherfucker just shows up and be like, I want to work that guy. And let's shoehorn it into something and make it work. And he hasn't worked Shingo. And he's like, I want to work Shingo in the Owen Cup. They was like, fine, sure, whatever.
It made sense for him, though. Yeah, like it was dope. And they worked their ass off. And Danielson had to win because obviously it's a first round match. Like, Shingo's not going to go through the tournament. But that was really fun and really cool. And then next match, Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa.
This was good.
The build was so damn fun.
The titties.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the titty shake. But then with Mariah May, and Mariah May is like, yo, listen, I like them both. And then even though as every day goes by, Toni Storm is more and more of a baby face. So they're all leaving together afterwards and just all being like friends. It was like, all right, well, we had a match. It was so well done. It was hilarious.
And you mentioned the Toni Storm babyface part, because here's the tricky part. As we're recording this, Dynamite is starting, which I need to mute the chat because I want to watch it with anything on. Mariah May has to win. She has to win to challenge Toni Storm. She has to win.
Got to create that dissension. It's time.
Right, but the hard part is, how do you make Mariah May the heel in this feud? Because Toni Storm's at the peak of her powers right now. Right? So Mariah and Mina got to turn on Toni, I guess.
No.
Or does Mina go, like, how does this work?
It'll be in Wembley, excuse me.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be in Wembley.
Mariah just has to lose. And
does she?
She does. She has to lose clean to Toni. And she has to snap. And she has to become jealous. And she has to be so focused on the title now that it overcomes her as a character.
Like
this should be a 4-month feud. And they don't do enough of those. And we'll get to that.
They got a lot of time with this one because, All Out is not until the end of August. So you got over a month. You got about 7 weeks.
But I'm talking about after that. It should not culminate there. You don't have to change the belt there. She doesn't have to turn there. it should be the beginning of something longer.
The which you may be right, but the more important thing is the audience who's never watched Mariah May in Stardom, they have no idea how well this woman can wrestle. They have no clue. Like usually the AEW crowd's pretty smart about this shit. But for anybody who's just tuning in, was like, this is a bunch of cute women wrestling. And then you get that Mariah May to come out. Now we got some shit, right? Like, I think they're working to it. It sucks because Willow's got to lose. Like, she's going to have to lose tonight. And I'll be stunned if I record this podcast and we talk about this next week. I was like, hey, guys, I was fucking wrong. But
no, you're not wrong.
Very clearly, they're going. This is the route that they're going with Mariah May. But I thought Toni Storm's match with me, I thought it was really good. It was one of Tony's better matches as champion.
Two good ones in a row.
Yep.
It's getting better. She's figuring it out in ring to go with the character. And then Zack Sabre Jr. beats Orange Cassidy.
This dude said, okay.
Shocked me. Somebody from New Japan got to win.
It didn't shock me. I think what Zach did is he reminded people. He does this from time to time. He's like, hey, fuckers, I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like I'm the most unique wrestler in the world. Yeah. Nobody can do what I do. There were moments that from transitions to submission holds to and he put on a little weight too.
He did.
He's put on a little weight. He looked fantastic in this match.
He put on a Japanese heel weight, not even like muscle.
Yeah, and quietly, like Zach has had a really good year because he had a fucking banger with Ospreay at Royal Quest. Yeah. Like that shit was stupid good. And he just reminded people again, it's like, and Orange Cassidy does as well. Because I think people have figured out Orange Cassidy is not a gimmick, he can wrestle. These two put on a great match.
Yep.
I like the Zach one.
It's one of the better matches for me that night. The Danielson match obviously is amazing, but this one I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I wanted from that match. And then Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata beat the Learning Tree. I thoroughly disliked the Learning Tree. Jeff Cobb being in this was kind of like weird.
I do like Brian Keith because he's such a fucking such a mensch. He's just like, don't talk to Chris Jericho like that. It just is really stupid to have this black dude in a cowboy hat that's just like really protective of Chris Jericho.
I guess. I just know on the other end, no one comes out better from this.
Nah, man, they don't. So, I think hopefully Brian Keith gets a little bit of a rug. Big Bill will not. But this match didn't have to happen. And I think as we're talking tonight, Samoa Joe should beat the holy fuck out of Jericho, but I'm sure he's going to get jumped by somebody and Jericho will win.
It's ridiculous. And then, but Samoa Joe's mentoring of Hook, I love.
I love it. And I love Shibata being their fucking cameraman.
Yeah. And Shibata doing the walk away now.
Yes.
Everyone's doing, oh my God. Samoa Joe is the real Learning Tree.
He is like this actual stable. If they can get out of this Jericho shit, this is a lot of fun. Trios, go for the trios titles with these three.
Love it. That's Samoa Joe's the perfect mentor for Hook.
But as an aside, I don't know if you saw the interview with Renee and Samoa Joe, where Renee was talking. She was like, Joe, stop sending my husband weapons. And Joe was like, yo, I got weapons in the house. And she's like, what are you talking about? And Joe pans. He's got a bucket with like battle axes, mason. Yo, it is fucking hilarious. But it's so Samoa Joe. He says it because Samoa Joe, not the wrestler, is a very kind-hearted guy. And he's like, look, right over here, I got battle axes, masons. And Renee's face is like, stop sending my husband weapons, because John gets so happy when a fucking wrecking ball comes to our house. And he's like, we don't need this around the kids. It's hilarious. But that's Samoa Joe.
I gotta watch the whole interview. But no, I love them as a team. The Learning Tree, I can go without. And then the AEW ladder match for the vacant TNT Championship. There was only one winner to come out of this.
Come on,
and Jack Perry, Takeshita, Briscoe, Dante Martin just here to do flippy shit. Leo Rush got injured in this match, and El Phantasmo here to do flippy shit. Mark Briscoe, like no one could win it except Takeshita, and it didn't make sense. Jack Perry got the belt. Like you said, it's similar to what we talked about in this week's show with the Bloodline. You're like, sooner or later, this new Bloodline is just going to have to all have titles to just elevate them and make them feel better. And this was just that opportunity. Someone gets hurt, it's like, let's give Jack Perry a belt. So they all have belts now.
Yeah, and Jack Perry he's done great work as a scapegoat. He comes out with a fucking goat mask now.
Yeah.
Like it's all
Entrance
great
looks
work.
great. Yeah.
Everything about it looks great. They turned a negative into a positive. Like Tony Khan did the absolute right thing by sending his ass away and letting him work New Japan under the guise of like, I'm not under contract. They ended up nerfing Tony Khan. Like, did everything right to bring him back as a better heel.
Yep.
They've done all the right things with him. Then he beat up Marco Stunt on Collision. It's just like the fuck, man.
Just
But whatever. But I
him
think
working like a giant against Marco Stunt and just nervous. He worked that match like he was overfending.
I laughed so hard during that match because one, I popped because Marco Stunt's back, and I was like, "Damn, we didn't see Marco Stunt." And then they played him as a giant. And I was like, "This is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous."
And he
But
looked the part, but I was like, Jack Perry's tiny.
yeah, all that
Marco
being said,
Stunt is just so small.
like this ladder match, they worked hard, and that's about all I can say about it because there was no drama, there was no doubt who the winner was going to be. The right man won. We can move on.
It wasn't too long either. It was
Nah, it wasn't offensive.
It wasn't. Mercedes versus Stephanie Fakir.
All right.
Champ Mercedes. I just bought a Mercedes t-shirt merch.
Never mind.
I like everything about this besides the fucking entrance. I hate that song.
All right.
And I'm glad someone called her ass out on it this week.
Oh God. All right. Wait, before we get into all that, first, Stephanie Fakir looked amazing in this match.
Amazing.
Yep. And
WWE NXT signee.
Yeah. And
moved quick.
Mercedes is just a really damn good wrestler. And she reminded people of that. I have one problem with this match. And it's not the match. It's Mercedes. It's not Mercedes. It's the positioning and framing of Mercedes. She's not a fucking babyface, guys.
No.
And they had an opportunity, and I kind of get why they didn't do it. I still disagree with it. She should have turned heel on Willow. Yeah. I feel like Willow's a better babyface than the returning Britt Baker DMD. I get it. It's a match you want to do at Wembley or Chicago, wherever the fuck you're going to do it. Chicago, I get it. Probably. DMD she's AEW to the core. You're just a fucking newcomer. I get it. Everybody's going to get behind her.
They ran that same program with Saraya, by the way, but whatever. We can retread it.
Right. But I get why they're doing it. My problem is that you spun your wheels with Mercedes for several weeks, having her cut these not really good babyface promos when you could have really made Willow in a heel versus babyface feud, because now she's a fucking working Statlander, and Willow deserves better than that. And I think what we got to see, fast forwarding to
that feud makes sense. Sure.
Like fast forwarding to Wednesday, we got to see how good Mercedes is when she's heel.
Yep.
Because her that mic work on Wednesday, having the fucking celebration and Britt Baker being in the ring, Mercedes giving her the face palm, and like the way those two interacted. When people say Mercedes is not a good babyface promo, no. She's a really good heel promo.
More natural.
And they just wasted their time with this babyface run with Mercedes, because I get it. When she shows up, of course she's a babyface. It's a fucking March, guys.
Yeah.
It was a March. She showed up in the Boston show with Okada. It was March.
Could have been 5. Yeah, it could have been 5 weeks of good heel promos.
Yeah. So
instead of people just still tearing her down.
In the middle of this match, the crowd clearly turned on Mercedes. Because, dude, we're in New York and she's from fucking Boston. Of course they're going to boo her out of the building.
Fuck you, Celtics.
Yeah, but she could have, if she was a heel, if she had maximized her heel shit.
Oh, she would have leaned into that shit.
She would have nerfed the crowd. Right? Like, I feel like they wasted an opportunity.
She would have done the ring joint. She would have done all that.
She's not a babyface, guys. She is a heel. And now she's going to be a heel against Britt Baker, who I'm not sure is a babyface.
She's also a better heel, but she just returned.
It is so you got to do it. Whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yes, she's also a better heel. Whatever. And the promo she cut against Mercedes wasn't the biggest babyface promo. Outside of I've been here and you're here and you think you're seeing. No, she cut her ass down like she was a heel, just ripped her to shreds. So yeah, it was a good back and forth. And then Naito versus Moxley.
This match sucked.
What is with Naito? He's
old.
Guy.
He's broken down, man. He's in the Tanahashi stage of his career.
Fuck.
The high fly flow is high fly low. It ain't, like the Destino ain't really quite turning around anymore, right? Like this match was not good, and it wasn't Moxley's fault. is Naito. He just can't work. They gave him the title too late, and now he's got it again. And he's not the Naito that should have had the title like 7 years ago. Well, not 7 years ago, about 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, they
That's when
should have built someone else better to get this back off of Moxley.
yeah, because now you got
Because it
another
did
Naito.
nothing.
It
It
does
did not.
nothing. It didn't. It does nothing.
You didn't elevate anyone.
The match, it wasn't good, and it sucks because Moxley's really good.
Yep.
There was nothing he could do about this match. The crowd didn't give a fuck. It didn't work. The match didn't work. It was bad.
I will say this until I can't say it anymore, until fucking Sean Ross Sapp delivers the news that Takeshita has signed a 7-year, $80 million fucking Supermax contract. There is no reason, and someone's car is going off. There is no reason for New Japan not to give Takeshita the biggest contract in their company's history.
It's so tough
They
because
all the money. Give it
AEW doesn't want to lose him.
immediately.
Tony doesn't want to lose him. It's a tough spot because you see so much potential in Takeshita, and there's a lot of things you can do with him, and New Japan can't pay him the money that AEW can. They just have better ways to go right now in terms of not Naito for the title. Like give it back to Shingo. Like I would have rather seen Shingo and Moxley do this, right?
Yeah, plenty of better options. No one no one was elevated by it.
No, it's bad. And
now we're into G1, and it's like, where does this go for G1? Like, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, this motherfucker Gabriel Kidd is on fire right now. Like, you need an American to run that stable?
Yep.
You got the wrong one. Like, Bullet Club should be ran by Gabriel Kidd because that dude is nuts right now. But it's just a lot of miscasting. I think Gato, like that, Naito's, he ain't it no more. He ain't it. And I hate it because I love Naito. I loved him.
That's hard.
He can't work.
He got old quick.
He got old super quick.
So fast.
Like Destino don't even hit right. It's like Destino. Oh.
Yeah. So fast.
Destino, oh no. Oh no. That's what that shit look like now.
Oh my God. And then Swerve versus Will Ospreay.
Listen, man.
I mean, Meltzer already wrote this shit in for 6. Probably needed 7. I don't know, man. Like, they delivered how they were supposed to deliver.
Look. The question really, it was never about Ospreay, right? We all know he's the best wrestler on the planet. He is. Yeah. He is the best wrestler on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. Look, in our power rankings, ESPN, yes, we have Cody number 1 because the character work, right? Yeah, you can't really deny the strong presence of Cody Rhodes, and he is a true consummate professional wrestler. But if we're talking about the in-ring, there's nobody touching Will Ospreay. However, Swerve let people fucking know in this match. There are a few people on the level of Will Ospreay. Swerve is one of them in terms of wrestler, right? The character work has been phenomenal for Swerve. And Swerve has had great matches. Samoa Joe, the Christian match, a Double or Nothing, great. This match, first of all, it's Swerve's first 5-star match. It should have been 6. Well, it's 5.5, right? That's what Meltzer gave it. There's been great matches. I don't know if it's better than Danielson Ospreay because the anticipation going into that match was so big, and the Tiger Driver fucking killed Danielson, like all the shit that happened in that match. And some people will knock this match because of Don Callis interfering, but you had to be clear about something. If you understood the reports and if you understood Will Ospreay, they needed to get this out of the way. So it wasn't going to hang up Swerve's title run and heading into All In, right? And Ospreay losing doesn't fucking hurt him at all. If you're pivoting into a Will Ospreay MJF feud or a Swerve MJF feud, they're both fine. But the match itself, it was the epitome of all elite wrestling. This is the wrestling company where their best matches end up being their title matches. And these two, from the moment the match started, you knew what was up. Swerve hitting that stomp on the outside on the commentator's booth, that shit was stupid. The finish was stupid. Like this, it's one of the best AEW matches of all time. And that's saying a lot for a company that's had some absolute bangers. Is it top 5? Might be. I don't know. I still think like I think it's the Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, that cage match. They had like 4 years, 3
Oh,
years
that
ago.
was insane.
That's one of the
Insane.
craziest matches I've ever seen.
Insane.
And Omega and Osprey 2 was, I mean,
All of them. But yeah,
all of us like Os dog, Osprey does not have a bad match. It's
no.
impossible.
And at this point, he's just grading it on the Osprey scale. So it's
Yeah.
just he's not going to have non-5-star matches. He had a Dynamite match and it was 4.5.
Like his match with Kyle O'Reilly was ridiculous. But Swerve brought something different out of Osprey in this match because he matched his athleticism, which is really hard for people to do. It's really hard. Like he ducking the head and blade by just kind of going Matrix style on it. Fools can't do that shit.
No.
If you're questioning
his hidden blades look great.
Yeah. If you're questioning Swerve Strickland's star power, if you're questioning whether this guy should be a champion, you're an idiot. Swerve Strickland right now is one of the best wrestlers on the planet in terms of presentation, work,
overall wrestler.
Yeah. Like you got the great manager. Like everything works with Swerve Strickland.
Yep.
This guy, I don't want to see him ever lose the title until his time is up because his time is not even close to up. I want to see him have a lengthy run. AEW did the right thing putting it on Swerve. I wish they would have done it at Double or Nothing and not that Dynasty pay-per-view because it would have been a bigger moment for Swerve. But nevertheless,
doesn't even matter now. He's done so much. Like coming out with Jim Jones in New York.
Come on.
He just gets it. It's the little stuff.
Who is doing these things? And yes, Will Ospreay is a friend of this podcast. Him and Kel fucking play Madden like every day.
Right? Oh, not Ospreay.
Swerve. I mean, not Ospreay. Swerve.
Yes, we do.
And you guys have heard Swerve on this podcast, but y'all have to remember, Swerve was on this podcast when he left NXT.
Yeah.
Swerve was on this podcast. Y'all have to remember, Swerve was on the podcast when he just dropped by, and I said, "Hey, bro, you put on that championship weight."
Yeah.
When we saw him, I was like, "Uh-oh,
it's tough."
This version of Swerve is a problem. Swerve was on this podcast before everybody was talking about him. When Swerve said, "I've kept receipts of all you motherfuckers talking," he said it. This is like 2.5 years ago. So we're not favoring Swerve because we're friends. The work speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's objective. And it's cool when you get to be objective with friends.
Yeah, because he's undeniable, right?
Yeah, I texted him after the match. I was like, yo, that's incredible. Me and him had a cool talk about it. And it's cool to see. And that's something, I mean, you know, when he's been on the show, what sets him apart is he thinks differently about pro wrestling in the industry.
Yeah.
Every move he makes is though it is the entertainment and hip hop industry, not pro wrestling.
Yeah, I can say this. Will Ospreay is the best in-ring wrestler, bell to bell. Anybody on the planet. He's the best. Swerve Strickland is. We had this conversation, like who's the most successful black pro wrestler, and we talked about Booker T. What Swerve is doing right now, in terms of how good his in-ring is, and how he's representing for the culture on a major scale as the champion, nobody's doing that. No, bro. Yeah. Had Jim Jones in New York, had Floyd in Vegas in the crowd watching his match.
After dapped him up just to get like
taking pictures, right? Like when we talk about black culture, and you know, I know people were mad at him because he wasn't on the BRP list and he said he didn't want to be on it because he wanted to be recognized as a wrestler. What you got to understand about Swerve, and Kelly, you know this, and we've had these, and I've had these conversations with Swerve. You had these conversations with Swerve. Yep. Swerve doesn't want to be boxed in, but Swerve is about the culture. So Swerve's presentation is, I don't want to be the number 1 black wrestler and then the number 50 wrestler in the world. Yeah. I just want to be the best wrestler in the world, but I still got to represent for the culture along the way. If you guys don't,
it was not taken in that context.
It wasn't.
The other thing about Swerve is he's not gonna. If you come at him negatively, he's not going to explain himself.
Well, no. So you can't look. I don't want to say Swerve is petty, but
I would 100% say he's petty. But it drives him. He uses it.
I would say he more so keeps grudges, right? Like he keeps those receipts. It reminds me of me a lot. Like I remember the motherfuckers who said shit about me, and I'll never forget it. And it might not be healthy, and it might be unhealthy to hang on to things for so long, but I don't let them play out publicly. I just remember them. Swerve just remembers them.
Yeah.
We've had conversations offline, me and you with him together. He knows who's talking shit about him. Like he's keenly aware of the people that have shitted on him, who didn't believe in him, who talked about his clothes or the sneakers that he wore. He's very aware of people saying he shouldn't be world champion. He keeps receipts. He ain't gonna call you by name, but he knows who you are. So the moment you pull up on Swerve in public and be like, I always knew you're gonna be champion, he's gonna remember that shit.
Yep. Easy.
It's just how he operates. But he killed it in this match. The man is deserving. I'm happy for him because he's a friend, but come on,
Yeah.
man. He
It's
gave
it's
us a
weird
smoke.
to kind of circle back to Hangman, it looks like. Maybe there's more meat on that bone. My
Yeah.
biggest gripe with Swerve is please just give him a feud longer than one pay-per-view. I understand the logic behind the Osprey thing and you want to acquire the things, but that's a feud that could have been 2, 3 pay-per-views. Like it's a bunch of one-offs right now that he's doing the best with. Give the man a feud that people will remember.
So if we want to project and what can make Swerve and Hangman, I don't know if it's infinitely more interesting. Right now, Hangman looks like he's on his own. We can't beat Swerve unless he has the help of the elite. It's the only thing that puts some extra juice in that feud. I just don't want Swerve to drop the title to
Yeah.
Hangman. But I want the elite to join Hangman, and then Swerve is kind of like, because Cody had to deal with the bloodline. And then you get homies along the way, but they're not really your homies because they don't, they want your title.
Yeah. But they hate your enemy as much as they want your belt.
But if there was a War Games, that's what I like Swerve to be dealing with is the elite. If you're looking for somebody
Blood
to
and
feud,
Guts is this weekend, and it's just kind of thrown together.
it's stupid. But Swerve versus the elite, Swerve versus Okada after he deals with Hangman. This is the route we should be going.
Yep.
Right? I don't know who's going to deal with the Young Bucks. I don't know, but the Young Bucks are always going to be involved. Like Jack Perry can go after Swerve. Swerve needs to feud with the elite to establish him as the top man in the company. That has to happen. And it has to start with Hangman at All In because the elite have to help Hangman. They got to get their boy back who is fucking pissed. Hangman's doing great character work, by the way. The man is just angry as fuck, murdering people. But if you get the elite back together, you establish them as a stable, and they got a foil because they want that title that Swerve ain't going to give up. That's how you cement Swerve because people are still questioning it. He beat Osprey, deal with Hangman and the elite. That's got to be next.
No, I agree. I think that's next for them. And we'll see how they build that out because now it's still the elite versus Team AEW. And you got to give that narrative more juice because right now it's just, WCW versus fucking NWO. Like, there's no real reason to believe Team AEW is going to stand up to the elite. They have all the belts. Like, there's no one credible. Like, no disrespect to Mark Briscoe, but why?
It don't make sense.
He's an ROH guy, not even an AEW guy.
It's just getting beat up.
So yeah, like it's already they're one person down, in my opinion. So they'll probably throw Swerve into Team AEW because he's the champ, and then Hangman will probably be the to be determined for the elite, and we'll see how that works out. But
one really quick thing, the Danielson retirement tour is happening. Danielson should also be feuding with the elite. He's obviously he's working Hangman.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He's working Hangman already. We don't know the outcome. We can only assume that Hangman is going to beat Danielson to challenge, right?
Yeah.
If Swerve ends up feuding with the elite and Danielson comes to help Swerve, and then Danielson and Swerve work Seattle for Wrestle Dream for the title.
Great.
Like, and Swerve beats Danielson.
Yeah, both Pacific Northwest guys.
Like, I think if they haven't figured this out by now, like that's the match for Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
Swerve versus Danielson. If you're doing it in Seattle, and I don't know if Danielson's retiring there. If Swerve were to retire Danielson, all fucking bets are off. We talked about who's the best black wrestler all the time. Like we're running into territory where Swerve is like becoming that dude.
Yeah.
There's a process. They can get there.
Yeah, he's having one hell of a run. So hopefully they continue that. And it comes down to know that what you have in a champion with Swerve, and the elite don't have to take over your entire company. They don't have to have every belt. Like they cannot have one.
Yeah.
Like you said, Bloodline feud in our other episode, they can have every belt, not Cody's. Yeah. Like it should be treated the same way. but we'll see. And Tony can make a misstep if he does take the belt off him for that, so they can have supreme power and be this giant heel state. Like it'd be a misstep, but
No,
we'll
he
see.
ain't got to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do it. So, man, we appreciate you all here on Patreon. Check out our other pro wrestling episodes. Still other episodes to come later in the week. Truly, truly, truly appreciate all of you and sticking, through all this with us as we, balance our new schedules. Everything's changing over the summer. So, a ton of stuff professionally changing for us, but we're still here, still enjoy chopping it up with you guys every damn week. Next week, trust, we'll get back into what is the crazy world of like hip hop and stuff swirling around. Um, we didn't even talk about the Kendrick video yet. I don't think.
No, we didn't.
So the video drop, we haven't even talked about that. So it's so much to talk about. We appreciate you all though. Until next time, we're out.
Peace.